All right, so here we go. As promised, here's the Orzhov list that I cooked up here based on the list that I saw on ladder that beat my Boros deck, and it felt like in my head theoretically would be potentially better than Boros. Now that I've played it, I gotta say they're about the same. I would say I think both have their pros and cons, and there are clear strengths and weaknesses to both. So let's get into that right away. First off, between the Boros and this Orzhov list, the mana base is much worse here because we need more black sources. More black sources means we need the Shattered Sanctum as well as all of the Pain lands, so we can guarantee that we can cast all these black spells, especially those in the sideboard like Duress. We can cast them early enough so they have enough impact. So that's one major downside. The mana base in Boros was already not the best because you have those, sometimes those triomes are really annoying. And here it's even worse. So there's that. That is kind of annoying. And also we're playing more colorless lands because this deck needs a little bit more card draw since it doesn't have that engine that the Boros deck has with the Tokasa's Welcome or whatever that card's called, the enchantment one, 3 mana. But yeah, we have more utility lands as well. So there's a lot of value here, and it works. It does work pretty well. Edgar is fantastic. It's my little splash. So this is not a card I saw from my opponent, but I feel like Edgar is always good to play when your opponents are playing like grounded creatures. And Dimir has a lot of those. They have Trespasser, which is really annoying to deal with most of the time. You really want to stop that card in its tracks. And if they manage to destroy your creature, you want it to have some kind of value. And Edgar is like perfect for that. If it gets removed, you're getting a lot of value from the artifact, and it can't deal with that. It can't really get sacked that well either. And if it does get sacked, it's going to create more 1/1s so your other stuff doesn't get sacked. So that's also fantastic for like Lily, for example. So yeah, the main strength of this deck is going to be the early pressure you can dish out that basically speeds up the it puts you further ahead earlier than my Boros deck. So my Boros deck will take more time to kind of set up, but this deck, you slam Thran Spider, it's really good. It's a really good blocker. You slam Steel Seraph, it's a really good attacker. It's really good at generating more life for yourself, as it can gain lifelink as well. It can get flying to other things, which is not that relevant, but it's also really good as a 6, which is where you really want to play. You want to play it as 6 mana. And you can do that with Mightstone, Weakstone. So you can play Thran Spider. It makes 2 Power Stones. The Power Stones are fantastic. So this card has Reach as well, which allows you to block the 2/1 Mastermind. The Power Stone allows you to play around Make Disappear a little bit better. It allows you to go from 3 to 5 mana and up to 6 mana 1 turn earlier as well with the Power Stone to cast Steel Seraph. So that's also fantastic. So you just have more of a high power spike with this deck with more combined elements that are individually, better at blocking and stuff. So like Forge can't really block, right? The weakness is going to be harder time dealing with Planeswalkers. Obviously, Forge is so good at attacking Planeswalkers because it's not a creature on the board. They can't sweep it. They can't remove it preemptively. They can't like Lily it, and then you'll just get to attack with Forge anyways because it's not a creature until your turn. But this deck has very high power spike, so it has a lot of synergy basically. You've got Thran Spider into Mightstone Weakstone. You got Mightstone Weakstone combo with Eternal Wanderer, where you can +1 and you flicker this, and you get another effect. Basically, every turn you get a Mightstone Weakstone, which is absolutely broken. And Steel Seraph as a 6-drop is a nightmare for Dimir to deal with. So there's that. Rite of Oblivion is pretty good. Also, another major strength for this list is instant speed removal. So sure, you're going to have a harder time casting that removal, but when it's relevant, Cut Down is fantastic against Fairy Mastermind. And having a bunch of 2 mana removal spells in the sideboard can be really, really, really good. And the Duress is also huge in situations where you want to dodge counter magic. So there's that. So the mana base is worse, but you have better tools. You're more vulnerable to Planeswalkers than the Forge list, but you also have higher early tempo with better creatures that allow you to snowball a little bit faster if things go untouched. But other than that, that's really about it. I don't think there's much else to say. I think they're both fantastic options against Dimir. So pick or choose whatever direction you want to go. I think it's totally fine. I think I still prefer the gameplay of the Forge deck because it's more novel. It feels like it's more interesting to play with a card that basically has seen 0 play, whereas these have seen some amount of play at some point in time. So it's really exciting to have a Forge deck finally out. But you can take, I might take some inspiration from the way I built this and add those elements to the forge list. So maybe Wanderer, and maybe Mightstone Weakstone. I don't know, maybe something like that. Maybe even Thran Spider. I don't know. There might be a mono white version of this deck that uses a very clean mana base with a lot more utility lands that runs Lay and Obfuscation as well. So that's something to consider, because I think right is a little bit awkward sometimes. You don't really want to sack anything. Even the Power Stone tokens are usually things you want to keep on the battlefield. By the way, I hope you enjoyed these matches, and check the deck out for yourself if you have the cards. If you do want to play Orzhov over the Boros list, they're both fantastic options. That's good. The only way I can think about it is running Sarah Paragon ×4, running Duress main deck or something. I don't know. Surprise, surprise. And people say they don't play against Amir, right? I'm gonna play on the Flash 2-1. Yeah. Pretty annoying, but I guess it's okay. Wait, am I running the same deck? Oh, this is the wrong deck, but whatever. I'm not running the other version. This is this is the wrong version, but whatever.
I'll be taking that now.
Too many dogs. Too many Dugars. Maybe I should draw there. I don't know. No, I think I make the creature. And just overwhelm them with board presence. Okay, now there's kind of an idea here with like Force Steel Sarah. If you go fast, I just go low curve, aggressive flying, artifact creatures. It could be interesting, but it heavily demands wedding announcement. I think that's kind of a problem. And I found 0 removal spells, which I guess is not that surprising. I mean, there's way less removal in this deck than in most of the white decks. I guess I just have to hope that somehow this resolved.
Now, what do we have here?
Oh, it's gonna resolve. Nice. Okay.
Make the most of the little time I have.
Kind of like removing this because it
I gotta sometimes.
stops them from getting a free card. I know, we'll attack anyway. That way also draw a card. And they possibly lose. Actually, no, I should have. I didn't play around cut down, which they have automatically, I think. That was my bad. I knew they had it too, I just forgot. Unfortunate.
That all you got?
Should still be okay. I mean, I drew an extra card. Not a huge deal. I wish this flips one turn earlier, though. Yeah. I don't know if they have counterspell. Maybe. Okay, sure. I mean, that's fine. I see a problem there.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
They didn't want me to minus. Or just do it again. So
I'll handle this
that way I
one.
can just play this instead of this. Yeah, unfortunate. Three threes. I haven't found any removal. And this has been, yeah, if I didn't misplay, it would have been a lot easier. Interesting.
Defend my allies.
Yeah, I don't have anything. It's tough. I don't have Spider. I don't have Steel Seraph. I don't have much. Well, that's okay.
This fight finished before brunch.
Okay, that's good.
One of your friends has to leave.
This is why I was thinking this version might actually be better.
Have a nice trip.
I guess we'll see.
I'll be back with friends.
Okay, so board's clear. I have a draw. I think the problem with this like supposed, you know, good combo is that it's so expensive
No more
against
distractions.
counterspell deck. Sure, they haven't had a single counter this game. They should have drawn at least one. So
Off you go.
it's just lucky. So sure, it's working now. Maybe with duress it would work even better, but how do I fit duress? into the main deck. It doesn't even make sense. Like, there's no room for it. I could maybe fit like 3 Duress at most. But this combo is something that you can exploit pretty well, so definitely like a consideration when it comes to deck building. I think I'll let them counter this. It's not a huge deal. I don't really know what else to play anyways. Unfortunately, 1 mana off, but I will probably end up cutting this. Well, in my other version, this is cut, so. Yeah, I'll just get rid of this. That way I can just flicker this to get rid of that. Well, first off, they have to counter, so. Otherwise, they're going to lose. Okay, I mean, that is annoying. I'm not gonna lie. How annoying is it? Not that much, I guess.
Isn't how things were
Not that
supposed to
annoying.
go.
Just probably a misplay for me to not flicker it immediately. Go to combat first. I'm not sure what they do here. Just a very lucky game for me, I guess. It was. I didn't draw like. I wouldn't say I drew. I mean, I drew pretty well, but it's more about them not drawing their counter spells. See, like, what do I remove to make room for like either Wanderer or Steel Seraph? I'm assuming they just didn't play as many like Wandering Emperors, but having a flash creature, flash anything is so good against Dimir. I play one of these at most. Like, the combo is tempting, but first we'll have to resolve this, which is not guaranteed by any stretch. And I don't feel like this is that good. I also need, yeah, I need cut downs because they're running Sleeper. And the issue is Steel Seraph dies to any sack effect. So if I don't have another creature set up, then this is just useless. When it's going to be good, it's going to be really good, though. Also, Rite of Oblivion is probably not good compared to Go for the Throat. Sure, it deals with Planeswalkers, but realistic, I don't even have that much to sack. So, you know, in this case, being in mono white, I don't get the rest, though. That's annoying. The rest is so good. Yeah, the mana is horrible in this deck. Okay, no turn 1, finally. I'm so used to Sleeper coming down on turn 1, I just always assume they have it. But sometimes they don't. Okay, they have a 2-1, sure. I might cut Spirited Companion entirely just because of this card. I don't know what I would... what do you play instead of... Like, the card is so good. How can you not play it? Yep. Well, has reach. Again, that's like one of the upsides of Spider, but it's probably gonna die. Like here's my entire problem. Like these on paper are good, but the fact that Demir has answers for pretty much everything you could possibly cast. Okay, that is where I'm really happy to have Duress. So fantastic. Now they can't activate, which is not my favorite thing ever, actually. So I'm gonna, since I have nothing, I'm just gonna get rid of it. So instant speed removal is another perk of being black. Again, like it's so hard to balance out, you know, having a good mana base, which this is certainly not, and having good tools. The balance between power and overall deck efficiency and consistency, that's what you have to balance out. I don't know if this is necessarily worth it. It does seem like it's okay. Honestly, I probably have to kill that. It might be the only way to come back. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Spider being a good blocker is very appealing. There's another problem is that compared to having red in your deck, you can't really deal with planeswalkers that well. I think that's definitely a problem. Like when Lily comes down and you have one creature, it will plus, and it will most likely minus again, so...
You'll never see me coming. There's no secret I can't
So
uncover.
Rite of Oblivion is good, but again, I don't think I have that much to really might have like I don't have that much to do with the right sack stuff. Like only Spider and maybe wedding announcement tokens. It's not that good. Also, the activated ability of Spider isn't that good. Top 4 to get another Spider, a Steel Seraph, Mightstone. I mean, it still worked, but I don't know. That looks totally fine. I will accept that. Having a tap land turn 1 is pretty much paramount in this deck. With the way worse or more awkward mana base, you can't really... If you have 2 tap lands and you draw 1 on turn 2 or like on turn 3, it's just horrible. Ooh. That's a new one. Versus back. Yeah. I mean, when do they not have Fairy Mastermind, really? I feel like you can always assume your opponent has it. On turn 2. It's okay, but kind of annoying. A little bit. You can play Demir to beat Demir? Yes, you can. You can. 100%. If you build your deck correctly, That is 100% a possibility that you have. Alright, I'll play this. Wow. I'm surprised they would do that over activating. That's huge for me. I was expecting them to activate, which would put me in a not a bad spot, but I don't really like them drawing multiple cards there in that situation. Oh, let's go, dude. We take those. 100%. I almost don't want to use this for -5, but I'm gonna do it. Totally fine. I draw a card with this anyways. I get to save this for whatever. Just more mana efficient if I top deck this, for example. It's funny, nobody plays around Spider, I guess, so people don't know if it has reach. Although it does seem pretty obvious, right? Like, there's only one symbol. It's not like it's hiding. Oh, I guess it's time to use this anyways. Or not. Wait, actually, no, I don't have the mana for this. Wait a minute. Yeah. I was like, I can use the mana from the Power Stone first. Cast this, then do this, sack the Power Stone. I think that's okay. Spider is getting a Makes Spirit? It is. Very much so, yeah. That's why there's potential. There's potential in Spider. The issue is that it also helps them somewhat. Almost every list I've seen has Sleeper. And Sleeper with Power Stones is really, really annoying. And also, this is everywhere now, so same thing. They can activate a lot easier, and that's kind of annoying as well. If you're targeting Dimir, I would cut the Sunfall. Maybe you can get away with running 2 Eternal Wander instead of a Sunfall in the main deck. That way you have more versatility. You know, when you're drawing it against Dimir, you'll have an Eternal Wander, which is a lot better. So I would flicker, but I'm in such a good position that making a 2/2 I think is just better.
Win this together.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. I want as much kill power as possible. I could have gotten rid of Spider actually.
We all have things.
It doesn't do enough damage. Okay, let's try revamp sideboarding here. See what happens. So I think I do like aggressive low curve. What? Okay, wait a minute. Alright, there's one card that makes sense here actually, but it just feels incredibly wrong to me. It's like more, I'm reducing the consistency to just have a more powerful deck overall, I guess. Now let's try it out. I don't know. It's like the only card I look at the deck, that's literally the only card I can cut. That or I have to cut Mightstone, Weakstone, and then Edgar doesn't make sense anymore because the whole reason I have it in the deck is to play against Amir. So if I'm cutting it post board, then why is it even in the deck in the first place? so kind of difficult to balance that out. To play this or not? I don't think probably should. I don't think I'm gonna have time to cycle it. And if I do, it's gonna be like 6 turns from now, so hopefully not a big problem. I need to take Kaito out. Or whatever this is. Wait, what? Whack? Oh, wait. Steel Seraph is a white creature. Okay. Okay. Also, what's the Hearst is annoying actually. I wouldn't say it does anything to me, but it's just I don't like it. I don't like that it's a creature that can haste, so it's not like I care about these really. It's looking pretty good. It's not looking pretty good. Why did they top deck that? Okay. Please. Oh man, I shouldn't have played that. Oh no. I was expecting to be on the back foot most of the game, but the fact that they didn't find anything. Oh man. And now they're just gonna draw something crazy, right? Please pass. Okay. This is really annoying. I don't have exile. Okay, that's good. Oh, they don't have 2 black. Okay. Okay. Something. They didn't have counter last turn. I probably still play around it. I play around Lily as well this way. Play smarter. Also, it plays on back. Like, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. Because they can cast that for 4. Never mind. Plays on Urtai as well. Not playing that. And if they whack that, they can't whack this. So that's pretty good. Wow. Fantastic. Okay. Another thing to note is that I really want more roadside reliquary. Not try to fit in though. It might be more important than Mirax. Maybe. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Yeah, Shield Red can definitely end my game at some point. If this ever dies. I mean, yep. Jesus. Oof, okay. Wow. I was not necessarily expecting that, but
Fun. I'm home. This is what you get for hurting my people.
I have a lot of removal though that could run. 3 Mightstones, 3 Wandering Emperor, 2 Edict, 1 Go for Thought. It was reasonable, but still lucky, I guess. Yep. I mean, even then, I can still be chilled in a race, so which is kind of annoying. As long as I don't draw land. Like if I drew a land instead of that, maybe. You know what? I'll make it 3-3.
Until next time, then, we must protect the people.
Also, another thing that is actually kind of good is Raffine's Tower. Sure, it's bad early, but it is really good to top deck late game. So, I don't know. But sometimes on 3, it just feels like you'd rather have something else. Whether that be like any removal spell or any other non-creature permanent or, you know, Planeswalker. I guess there's no 3-mana Planeswalker you could play, but something that doesn't get wrecked by sack effects, essentially. Because that's usually how you fall behind against Dimir or Mono Black. Is you play your creature, they play Lily, same cost, they sack your creature, and you're kind of screwed. But the good thing about the Boros deck is that you can play you have so many 3-mana enchantment / artifacts that also do something really good, and those are not vulnerable to Lily, so they can only plus, and then you're just drawing more cards with that anyways, or whatever. What the? Do they keep a 0-lander? I don't think I've ever seen somebody keep a 0-lander. Kind of like Shield Red, sometimes really good, sometimes really bad. True, yeah. But also Shield Red is better in most situations, just because you get guaranteed 2 damage usually. And if you don't, it's a really good blocker, while Steel Seraph is not a very good blocker as a 3-3. Like, stat-wise, you have 3-3 for 3, which is about vanilla standard stats, but you have 4-5 for 4. That's like 1 upgrade of toughness. It's even better on blocks than Steel Seraph. But the flip side of that is Steel Seraph, when you have a curve that's really insane, so in more of an aggressive deck, then the flying really generates, like, it doubles your pressure essentially against opponents. So the snowball effect is probably a little bit better with Steel Seraph because it has like immediate like combat affecting effect in certain decks. But overall, Shield Red is more versatile. Also, two white on turn 3 is harder than 2 black on turn 4. So more mana restrictions as well. So there's a lot of things to think about, but it's kind of a similar situation, I guess, yeah, that you can find yourself in. So I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what I'm playing against. I'm assuming if they mull to 5, it's probably like a slower deck, because an aggro deck would usually, or more aggressive deck, they would probably just keep anything with any amount of lands, or they would mulligan even harder, right? Like, was this a mull to 5? Oh, it was a mull to 4? Jeez, okay, never mind. That could be anything then. I have no idea. I'll keep it intact, whatever. Hey, Dodgers cut down, yeah. Yeah, dodging cut down is huge. The Dodgers go for throat, Dodgers cut down, which is why I'm for playing it in the end. Like, even though I weigh the pros and cons for it, it gets wrecked by Lily, but if it lives, it's gonna be good. So, risk reward is probably there. Like, even if you consider Steel Seraph versus Thran Spider, I think usually I would want, on 3, I would want Thran Spider almost every time. Just because the ETB effect is beneficial no matter what happens to the creature itself. Mono blue. Okay, mono blue is absolutely impossible if I was not playing black. Thankfully, in the sideboard, I have a few options that could be valuable against mono black. So I have 3 removal spells. Negate, yeah. Annoying. Yeah, that's annoying. Mono blue is hard. For mono white, it's always been hard. It's very difficult to deal with the Jin. It's actually kind of difficult to deal with terrors. Uh, Counter magic's really annoying. A lot of stuff's annoying. I need to land there. Fortunate. Yeah, GG. I don't think I have a single answer for that. I mean, Rite of Oblivion, I guess. Maybe. Yeah. Perfect hand, pretty much, for what I had. Gonna happen against mono blue. Just a very annoying deck to face. So they get the zero lander as mono blue. Gonna be uphill battle, for sure. Yeah, it's not gonna be a good one for me. Rite of Oblivion is so risky because if I sack something and then they counter it, I just lose my creature. But I don't have any removal, so kind of have to play it right. I guess technically, maybe Mightstone Weakstone is actually better. But it's also 5 mana. I do need draw though. Yeah, actually I can't cut Mightstone Weakstone. It's my only reliable draw source, so it doesn't feel good to cut it. The only options for cutting things would be right. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut right. I think I do want Edgar because it does chump block very well. And it attacks into Jin pretty well as well. War 2 feels like Hexproof sometimes. It does early, yeah. Definitely. If they get it out on like turn 3, 4, it's kind of hard to interact with it. I kind of have to keep this. I have my 2 of my instant speed removal spells. Sure, double tap land, not great, but my hand is like pretty okay overall. Their hand is insane, holy. Yeah, I don't see how I can beat this, really. This is gonna be hard. This matchup is notoriously difficult, but with a hand like that, and them top decking a counter spell, which actually doesn't matter too much. Yeah, it's kind of a waste of a counter. Unless they, okay, it's a waste of a counter unless they know I'm mana screwed, which they have no way of knowing that, so. Hey, Borrow. Yeah. That's about right. That's fine. The reason I went for that is if they have a protection spell, it's better for me to use my sorcery speed removal spell. Sure, it's riskier against counterspell, but they haven't drawn like they haven't If they cast Moment of Truth, I might have reconsidered. But the fact that they only drew with Thirst and didn't do like Moment of Truth and Thirst means that the odds are okay. And even if they had a counterspell, they could counter one of these as well. So I'd rather spend more of my mana on something when they only have 1 mana up, and then use these later on when I have more flexible options for things. Yeah, I won't attack here. I won't attack there. They did not have protection last turn, so the odds of them having it this turn are pretty low as well. Okay. Two in the graveyard, Jin in the grave. Wait. Oh, it's a 1 in the graveyard. So okay. Mirax is fantastic in this matchup, though. Yeah, hence why this matchup is like impossible. Okay, at least they're... Yeah, the one thing I remember from playing a lot of mono blue before is that sometimes you just draw a lot of lands, even with the first card draw. Not that consistent. I could look at top 4. I'm gonna pass. I'll decide what I want to do after after they sequence. Yes, that's very good. I wanted that order specifically. Did they keep the card so they kept negate? Oh, that's unfortunate. I think I still... I mean, again, this matchup is probably 80-10 or 80-20 for them, so it's gonna be an uphill battle. Certainly. Actually, I didn't consider them actually counting this. I don't know why they would, but they did. So yeah, I have no idea why they would counter that when I've shown them Spider already. So a little bit unfortunate, but is what it is. Yeah, I can't let them kill my Wandering Emperor off. That was unfortunate.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Yeah. Very difficult. So it is what it is. If you enjoy my content and would like to help me keep making it, consider supporting me over on Patreon, where you're going to access to a bunch of bonus videos, as well as other rewards depending on the tiers. And thank you so much to all the lovely patrons that are already subscribed. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you all in the next video.